So welcome everyone. I've had a week. I've had a day. Our lovely players here are amazing. We want to thank the Forge for their hosting services. It's awesome. If you need hosting for Foundry, check out the Forge. Without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to these fine folk and just allow a little bit of chaos as I try to pull my head together. So would you four take civil turns and describe what's going on in your lives right now and the normal meet and greet stuff, what's going on with your characters, and then we'll jump into a recap of last time.
Warhammer Online. It is amazing. Turn of Reckoning is a group of people who brought the game back from being killed off in 2013. 2014, they brought it back. They've been running with 12,000 players every day. Put in live events. They've been adding new dungeons. They added missing classes. They added keeps that were missing. Amazing. And it's 100% free. You can't even give them money. It's by far the best PvP in an MMO, in my opinion. And
Nice.
it's just a great, really good community. A lot of fun. And then pretty excited actually to maybe try out Baldur's Gate again. I never finished it because I got a bug during chapter 2. Now that they've added Hexblade, I might very well try it again.
Yeah, I'm looking for that one. Looking forward to that as far as that goes as well with Baldur's Gate 3. My roommate, as far as that goes, actually has it on his PlayStation, which makes it available to crossplay now that they've actually done patch 8 as well too, and I want to see how well that actually functions.
I'll help you experiment.
Yeah, we'll set up a
Or not much.
For me, on my end, it's been arguing with my own insurance company, telling the guy who's rear-ended me's insurance company that no, I won't speak to them directly, and they need to talk to my insurance company. Stop damn well calling me. Getting told by my local police that they won't provide a transcript of a 911 call without a subpoena or a court order, neither of which can be completed before my court date is supposed to happen. It's been a fun week for that. Beyond that, my own insurance company basically said, it doesn't matter whether the judge finds you in fault or not, you were rear-ended. Our policy says we'll pay for your vehicle, and then we're going to pursue the other insurance agency regardless, because the standard across the board is it doesn't matter whether or not you were pushed into somebody from someone behind you. If you rear-ended the person in front of you, it's your fault. So, meh. We'll see how well that goes when I got to talk to the judge.
At least you got it covered. That's tough, man.
The thing that I find ridiculous about it is that when I made the records request to ask for the transcript, they told me it was absolutely available and I could get it. It was like a minimal fee, like $3 or $4 or something to get it. And they want me to wait 11 months for them to complete that request.
That's for continuance.
Wow.
Yeah, ask for an
11-month
continuous because that's how long it's going to take for the Sioux City Police Department to give me my traffic records.
If you do, if you ask the judge, they might. The
judge might say that's stupid and say no. They got to get that in here now.
Yeah, issue a subpoena.
Where's your subpoena?
Yeah. Here's your subpoena, and would you go ahead and notify them of the fine for obstructing justice?
To be honest, I just don't see that happening. What I see happening is the judge telling me that that's entirely on me to have done, and why didn't I get it done by now, and ruling on whatever it is just because. Regardless, I'm not really worried about it. Game-wise, the only game that I've actually really played much in the last week is running around on the PlayStation, playing World of Tanks, shooting shit with Mike to get frustration out when I was irritated. Other than that, I haven't done much. Az, what about you? Chew it.
Yeah. Works work. More ESO. Love me some ESO. It's fine. I might be the only one, but I don't care. It's very enjoyable. And I don't know. Parent crap.
Get you there. And just so you know, instead of saying work twice, you actually have to say it 3 times. And whenever you're done for the day, you have to say job done.
Work crap, work crap, work crap, job done.
You don't catch the reference, do you?
No.
Work. Job's
Oh,
done.
I don't know. I think I remember hearing that like once or twice.
Oh my god.
Oh, is that World of Warcraft?
No, just regular Warcraft. Warcraft 1, Warcraft 2, 3,
Yeah,
all of them.
I didn't play any of those games.
You know the good ones.
You mean Blizzard's games when Blizzard's games were actually really good?
Yeah.
Because the Warcraft
said
games
that.
were amazing for that. They really were.
Playing parties of Warcraft too.
I mean, I played like the oldest Blizzard game I can remember playing is let's see. I think I played
Let me guess, you
StarCraft
don't know Rogan or Wooloo either, right?
He's not gonna
Rogan?
catch this one.
Wooloo.
Like I said, I loved all the Warcraft games. I loved StarCraft 1. I thought that was amazing. I never really got into StarCraft 2 because I didn't have a machine that would run it at the time. So
Well, I remember like whenever I was a teenager and I got my first 3DFX Voodoo card. And that was used to play Unreal Tournament.
That's a good game.
That is probably the first actual like computer game that I remember playing. Planescape Torment, probably my favorite computer game of all time. Wish they would remaster it.
there's a lot of people that wish they'd remaster that.
Arcanum.
It needs it. I tried to play it again.
It needs a
Not
remaster.
good on an ultra widescreen monitor.
Oh God, I bet
Impossible to
not.
read it.
Yeah. It's a hard time.
But yeah, like those are the early games. I don't really remember a lot of Blizzard games other than I take that back. I played one of the Diablo games for PlayStation way back when. Like way
After
back when.
Diablo was not very good.
Okay, well then
Well,
there you go.
we feel for you.
So
Maybe
Diablo
someday
2,
we can help you grow up.
right?
Diablo
Joking.
2 is where I feel
Joking.
Diablo peaked, in my opinion.
But Diablo 4 is just so pretty.
In a overly flashy light,
Yeah.
epileptic seizure inducing kind of
No.
way, maybe, but there's no substance
I
to
know, it's
any
fine.
real gameplay there.
That's the reason why I haven't played it in God knows how long, and why I keep going back to ESO.
For that style of game,
Wait, because ESO actually has a little bit of story?
well,
A little bit of story. It has a fucking boatload of story.
for the Diablo-esque style of game, Path of Exile and Path of Exile 2 do it so much better. The Diablo does. It's
And
embarrassing.
Diablo 4 does. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. What
so,
was that
they,
one?
so,
Good.
so that like, I don't like. So I told you that they were changing like the cadence or whatever, and now they're doing like seasons. But the one like the piece of content that's coming next is quote unquote like it's a continuation of the main quest from the original, like from like 10 years ago. So this is basically the sequel to the original story from 10 years ago. So this is I guess this is like
Suffers
what
from
they're
the same thing as all the mainline story quests in Bethesda games. Doesn't go anywhere and it's meaningless. Doesn't matter the world at all. Like the whole thing in Skyrim, for example. Just you just fight a dragon and it just goes away and that's it. Nothing there. There's no repercussion. There's no. It's meaningless. Their stories are always so toothless.
And
And
I
it
think
suffers from that horribly because it has to be storytelling anyway, except KOTOR's class story.
yeah, the class stories for that was actually quite good, but
So, yeah, storytelling
Not
in
at all.
an MMO, not really.
yeah, storytelling in an MMO is hard. It really truly is because you have so many different things that you're wanting to do from so many different directions. You end up with quests
I
that
gotta deal with a
seem
child. You guys keep going.
almost generic that then begin being inserted into every different area. Now, I'm sure that there are certain things within ESO in particular. I haven't played it in years and years. At this
Yeah,
point.
that's fine.
Morrowind, ESO, ever since Bethesda took over ESO or Elder Scrolls IP, they've turned it into, powdered milk on white bread.
Yeah,
And ESO suffers from that tenfold.
and I have found that that's my problem with a lot of the MMOs, just kind of in general. Most of them have the same general gameplay loop. And once you've played one, there's some variations a little bit here and some variations a little bit there. But the gameplay loop for what you're doing is so similar from one to the next that they cease to interest me. Not because these games aren't necessarily fun, they're all the same. And after a while, once you've played one or two of them, unless they have something that is a particularly redeeming feature, like I continued to play World of Warcraft as long as I did, not because I thought the game was good. It was because of the group of people that I was playing with.
Oh, yeah.
And when that group of people stopped being able to do that anymore, I wasn't interested in that game so much. For Azrael, as he said, he loves the lore and the backstory and everything that goes along with the ESO world, and this is how he chooses to participate in it now. I personally have to agree with Malkov that I really wish that Bethesda's mentality of let's make this available and accessible to every player has, just like in all MMOs, kind of dumbed the content down overall, and what was the really good, neat stuff, they had to just make easier and make easier. Or
Well, like that's to get like so if you want to build if you want your population to jump, you have to get casual people to play. Like, so at the very beginning, like everything was locked. Like you had to play through, like you picked a race and a faction, and you had to play through that whole thing before you were able to do something else. And then like once you hit a certain level, then you can go to other things. But
beta through like the first year.
yeah, like
yeah, I played very little ESO, so I can't speak to how that was set up. So,
but then they opened it up to where like you can do, like you can. The map is your, like the world is your oyster. You can do what you want, and
Well, the end game was always meant to be the PvP.
Yeah.
The PvP is not that good.
Yeah. Well,
and oddly enough, they opened like the PvP starts at level 10. Like you can jump into PvP at level 10.
If that's what you want to do, you can get into it
It's
immediately.
just not that great. Outside of the scenario play in SWTOR and the Realm versus Realm stuff in Warhammer Online, and some of Guild Wars 2 stuff, MMOs kind of sucks.
I have not messed with any of the Guild Wars 2. I watched a little bit of one.
Actually, Realm versus Realm in Dark Age was pretty good too, but that's pretty much the premise that was used behind the Warhammer Online.
Well, let's check in with Puppy.
Puppy.
And then let's do a recap.
Puppy got eaten by sharks.
I never get eaten by sharks.
That's not what I heard from Bruce.
I feed them Mika instead.
I did threaten to feed them Mika 2.0 yet last time.
You did. Oh, still don't got chickens. But the real question is, when we get chickens, what are we gonna name them? I didn't miss, okay? It did like a ninja move on me, okay? Those chickens are vicious. It was like bing, 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 and then I was like aiming, and then it was like it came at me. The chicken came at me.
For those of you who don't know, Puppy's talking about a game called Raft that we've been doing co-op.
Angry chick.
Hey, Puppy, I don't know what's going on with your camera. If you guys are seeing it, are you seeing her camera go fritz once in a while?
Yeah, my camera's been doing this for a few sessions now, and I don't know why.
It is weird.
It's worse today. Like, it's only video that my camera acts like this. I don't know why. I have no idea how to fix it.
Interesting. All right, we'll keep going with your dialogue. I just was seeing if it was just on my end or if it was everyone's, because that changes things up.
Well, I went to the flea market yesterday. We were selling stuff at the flea market. That was fun, but also tiring. I got back. I had plans to play Repo with Peekaboo, and I fell asleep on him. I felt so bad because I was so tired. We were there until 4 o'clock. And like we woke up at like 4 a.m. to get there because it's like an hour away from us. I stayed to sleep in a couple more hours while my sister and my dad went to go set up. And then I brought the dogs with us too. Well, I brought one of my sister's dog, and I brought Charlie with me. Bailey I left here because she doesn't do well with a big crowd of people. She gets too scared. So not a good environment for her. But Charlie, she loves people, so I brought her, and Charlie gets very stressed when I'm gone and she's not with me. So I'm like, okay, you're coming with. Plus, she can't hold her ladder for that long, so I don't want her like peeing everywhere.
Yeah, that's not a desirable thing.
Yeah. She did good. She liked it. She was like very happy. I even brought her stroller so I could walk around with her because she can't walk for very long. He's an old girl. She can't walk very long, so she gets tired easily. And she's also got like really short legs, so I got her a stroller, but I only got it for like $20, so those things are expensive if you ever seen them. But she likes her stroller. She was laying down and I was giving her treats. Oh yeah, well, we made some good money though. Plan to sell at another flea market tomorrow as well. So
good luck with that.
Yeah.
You know, I still hear you've not made it back to Moria.
No, I haven't. To be honest, I just haven't had time. Like I've been
Well, I
trying to
get you.
catch up on like myself getting back to like streaming on a regular schedule and stuff, but then I just like run out of time, or like I'm like just like super tired.
I get the super tired thing.
So yeah,
I have a teething child.
yeah.
Good at that. Right, nuts.
Oh, see, they keep talking about how they're coming up with this CRISPR technology where you'll be able to just do something to you and have you grow a new set of teeth. The one guy who's actually had that done to him, when they asked him what he thought of it, they said they should abandon the research. There's a reason why people aren't aware of themselves yet when they go through teething. He said it's the worst pain that he's ever experienced. It's like having a migraine for 3 or 4 months straight as they come in.
And we wonder why they wake us up constantly. I wonder.
That's the scale of pain that those kids are in when they're at like that. They just don't grab. They don't have any way to express that to you later because
Oh yeah.
they don't remember. Just like the rest of us. Be glad you don't remember teething.
Oh yeah. I completely agree on that. And that's why I'm like, I just try to love on her and help her, but it's rough when she wakes up screaming bloody murder because they hurt and she's just can't sleep. I mean, I think we all have had an achy body part at some point when you're trying to sleep. It's just, it doesn't work well. It doesn't work well. No, I haven't tried morphine.
Does it? He's not trying to create little juicer children. What are you talking about?
Just rub some brandy on her gums.
Whiskey.
Or that, yeah, some kind of dark liquor.
Yeah, and if she has a reaction like I do, I'll get less sleep.
Oh, that'd be bad, yeah.
Yeah, well, this is true.
You allergic to liquor?
He projectile vomits almost immediately, gets all kinds
Smell
of
of it just makes my whole system go absolute complete nauseous. Just the smell of it.
That's crazy.
And I'm like,
so I guess you've never had rum cake.
no, I don't want to
Note
risk
to
it.
self. Note to self. Diamondex, you never want to try to get a job at any kind of an ethanol plant.
Oh no, I don't.
Yeah,
No,
or
no.
steakhouse.
Like
I was gonna say just restaurant in general.
ethanol, like I've done it with like the dissecting fluids. They tend to use ethanol in science class, and that didn't bother me quite the same. But it still, I was just like, no, I'm done.
Yeah. Who's doing the recap? 1, 2, 3, not it.
You said not me too.
Nice keyboard.
Thanks. I'm trying to fix my camera. I was trying to figure out like which one is this plug in, because maybe if I unplug it and plug it back in.
Yeah. If you do trace it to the back of your computer and try swapping where it's plugged in, that might help. And then it'll at least tell us if it's the cord or if it's the cord, the camera, or if it's the port on the computer.
Yeah.
Easiest would be if it's the port on the computer. If it's the other one, it's
To the
replacement.
computer. I have it plugged into something else that's plugged into the computer.
Oh, that could be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't.
Can it
It didn't
plug
used
directly
to be.
into the
It
computer?
used to be fine.
That doesn't mean that the port that you have it plugged into hasn't gone bad.
Yeah. Right. I'm gonna unplug it and stuff.
Yeah, sometimes this stuff just.
I actually had a SATA cable go bad on me. Like, I've never had that happen before, and it actually happened on me once.
A what?
The serial ATA cable, SATA cable.
That sucks. Yeah.
I thought my hard drive was crashing or something, but no. It was actually the SATA cable went out of the blue.
I mean that's a lot cheaper than a new hard drive.
But I'd never experienced this. I'd never seen that happen before.
Having to figure out that it's the cable versus the drive.
And I actually had the same thing happen for Instead of a TV, we have a projector, and the same thing was on that for the HDMI port. The HDMI port on it went bad. I thought it was the HDMI cable, maybe, because I've never heard of those ports burning out like that, but it did. So at this point, I'm like, everything's off the table. That's why you always try to keep a known good item available to test with, because that is the only way to test and verify. You have to have another one that you know is good.
Yeah. I don't really remember much from last week, so.
I don't either. Sadly.
I'm trying to think.
Nuts.
Hey, I started this off with 1, 2, 3, not it. What are you talking about?
No, what? Okay.
I'm asking if you remember. I might start rewarding
I'm just trying to think.
bonus IP if someone can get it correctly.
I mean, well, like we decided to go out to the desert and carry grandma out there. And we bought a van or a bus or whatever thing.
We bought a bigger vehicle in order to be able to get us to go out to grandma's. We set up to do that. Where we're at currently, however, I mean, I know where this is. I was seeing if anybody else kind of for that. Nobody else.
We're at the Nomad camp.
Well, we're at the Nomad camp. We were.
Yeah.
We set up that we need to go back and smash and grab back into the mansion, and then we're gonna blow from there straight the hell out of town, assuming that nobody needs to hit, you know.
I knew I remembered like something about the mansion.
Unless somebody's seriously leaking, we're gonna bust out for straight from there out of town. I would have also asked the Nomads to do us a favor while we make the trip to the mansion. We'll get the pay to you for it, but can you make sure that the vehicle's stocked up with what we need for food, water for the trip, and fuel for the trip, please?
Very true.
So yeah, they could probably do that. Trying to think the best way that they would handle that. Because I can think of a few ways. Let's go with that.
I'm gonna leave it to the Nomad's discretion at that point.
Well, part of it may be what funds are available to sponsor that happening. Because they still do have to make money to pay for their fuel and stuff too.
Oh, yeah, no, I told them we would pay for it. Just we don't have any problems paying for it.
You see Pepper Jack's statement: 80 bags of sour cream kibble chips. Man, talk about a rough trip.
I mean, it could be worse. I mean, they could all be barbecue that actually tastes more like, you know, ketchup.
Right. Or it could be original, which tastes like dog food.
Nom nom.
I bet you Puppy wishes she could eat her dog's food every day she feeds them. And so does Azrael. That dry kibble hitting the dish.
I'm
so glad that we don't live there.
Wait, when I switched my cat...
I don't even feed Charlie kibble. Because he don't like it.
When I switched my cat to the kidney care food that they were supposed to be on, I was terrified the first time I went to go to open one of the cans of that, because cat food usually stinks pretty bad.
It does.
I cracked this open and went, this smells like food. I mean, it didn't have a... I mean, it wouldn't...
Yeah.
It wasn't super appetizing, but it smelled like food, not a can of rotten death. Like most
right. You're like, oh, this actual food. Well, that's not terrible. I can stomach smelling food.
Yeah,
Well-
we got some kidney food for Charlie to try, but she didn't like it. It's like, you don't understand. This is good for you. You need to eat
That's
this.
why I don't like it. Duh.
She does. She's
cannot
very picky.
I cannot say how grateful I was that I had put the new food in front of Jenkins, and his response was to immediately wolf it down and look at me like, "Is there more?" I was like, "Perfect. I don't
Thank
have to
goodness
deal
my
with
cat's
this."
eating. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Charlie
I've
is very picky with what she eats. Like, it's hard to find food that she will actually eat.
No. But yeah, no, we had set up and we were kind of we were ready to be on the cusp of, we were going to head to the mansion, smash and grab, and then go.
Did you take the price off for the vehicle? I know we talked about what it would cost.
I don't think so. I know I specifically did not.
I did.
Somebody checked the stash.
I don't see that it was paid for because you guys still have 77,000 in stash.
Yeah, no, that needs to be taken out then. How much was that again?
Let's see.
It's like 55,
No,
something.
it was like 50, but then we got a discount because
Oh yeah, that's right. Because
Because
got her,
Pinky.
Yeah.
Because Pinky's
Pinky
good at what she does. And just be glad that we're playing a relatively moral cyberpunk group, because otherwise the fixer is usually just like one of the dirtiest people in the group otherwise.
Other than the corpo exec, yeah. Yeah.
If the corpo
Yeah, I mean, I
you
didn't
can't
care
get
at
that
one point.
straight out. That's
I mean,
come out.
I mean, at some point, like I was an asshole. You all saw me playing the asshole for several weeks, months, even. You know, I'm just tired. I'm tired of being an asshole. So we're doing the redemption arc.
Apparently someone made a bus variant of a vehicle that actually has 20 seats in one of the modules that I have that added some items. It's like, oh, an actual bus, not a
school bus.
van bus. So I believe that's what it was that you guys were getting, right? Is the
whatever one is the like 50,
Badger.
like 40 something
It was
K
the
one.
Badger, I think. Yeah, that he said.
Yeah.
okay.
Because we had to have enough for it to get me, Ezek, who's 2, Puppy,
Yeah.
or Pinky. At the time when we were setting it up, we planned a spot for Zid, but he's not going to be along this time.
He's in therapy.
Zid's in
Zid's
forced
in a rubber.
therapy.
Zid's in a rubber room,
Yes,
either
he
in
is.
an "I love me" jacket or strapped down into the clockwork
And,
orange
yeah,
chair, where
he's got an
your
IV.
eyes.
Actually, he may not be strapped down at all. He may be just having a certain person there sitting in a chair,
Staring at him.
which is just about as scary.
Do we need to strap him down? She just reaches out, sets a hand on his chest. He'll be fine. No. But no, I mean, so we had set up to initially have enough room with that to be able to have everybody that we had going in grandma, with the intention of your driver, I thought, driving us. Or did we hire a nomad?
Yeah, no, Mac's fine.
I thought we had talked about hiring a nomad.
You did, due to out of city driving instead of in city driving.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Because I thought that
But
we
that
had
was one of
negotiated.
those not finalized things.
Yeah.
Okay, where
We
is?
also talked about hiring a vehicle instead of buying one.
Yeah. I think that's why we hadn't actually fully spent the price for it. We had thought about this is a one-time job. Maybe we just need to hire a Nomad with a vehicle that can handle this.
Yeah,
Find out
that
how
could be why
much
you didn't
that
spend it
was
yet.
going to be. I think that's part of what we were talking about or discussing, and then got sucked into other stuff on.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff all over the place last week. It was a bit crazy. I mean, if you want to splurge and go 63, then you could work towards getting a Helldrake and then just go full AV.
Dude, do you just want to like drain our stash? You
Yeah,
just want to drain the whole thing?
he has a lot more options for screwing us over if we have to be hungry for work. This is
Yeah, I had a question for you. How many rockets does it take to take out a vehicle?
One. Just gotta hit the right spot at the wrong time. And remember, the nice part is Choo-Choo is nowhere near as explosive as, say, diesel or gasoline.
It's true.
And Choo-Choo also has that benefit of not being the Fallout style nuclear cars either. Good God.
The kinds that you can shoot until they explode, like the small mushroom cloud.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so yeah, I think that's what you guys had gone with. Was the one you mentioned, the Badger, is the only one I'm seeing that fits what you guys had mentioned. Thing is, with a Badger, it was definitely meant for city driving, not off-road
Yeah.
Badlands driving.
I think that's why we ended up settling on hiring Nomad vehicle driver.
Is that what you guys want to do, or did you want to buy that one?
No, I think we should
I'm
hire
fine. I'm fine with hiring out.
because we don't know how well that thing would do out in the Badlands and wastes.
And I'm going to say it flat out, if we buy it, we still have to hire a driver unless we're going to use the... I mean, no offense to your driver at all, but if I'm out... I've been in the wastelands. Harlan's been through this mess before.
Mm-hmm.
He don't want to do
Been
that
through
without
the
a
desert.
Nomad behind the wheel. He don't want to do that without a Nomad behind the wheel, period. Just doesn't think it's safe otherwise. Wouldn't be willing to do so with his grandmother in the car.
I mean, you've seen Ajo drive and how he pulled crazy stuff, and then you had, Blackstone get behind the wheel and ram into everything. I mean, there's a reason Harlan feels that way.
Hey, I didn't say anything. He
I was
said,
talking to him.
Don't blame me.
I'm not blaming you.
I'm blaming the dice. I don't know what you're talking about. Have you seen Kesser's rolls and Thecker's rolls? And I could keep going.
I mean, you could. You don't need to, though.
How often do I roll above a 10 on a D20?
Not
Yeah.
at all.
Three out
So-
of every 40 or so rolls.
So I get it. When your character is designed to be good at a certain thing, and the dice repeatedly slap you down and be like, no, you suck at that.
That's so much fun.
I get it. I do. And it's not fun, and I get that. So that wasn't a jab at Blackstone. That was a jab at the system of dice rolls and saying I understand where that perception could come from. So you will contract a Nomad to drive you and facilitate that. So Deep will start looking around for someone willing to do that job,
Okay.
because he is your Nomad contact.
Yep. And once we've got that set up, we kind of...
I think after we drop ground, we go back to the Ziggurat or whatever.
Back to the compound.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go back to the compound or to Grandma's estate?
Well, I want to go look for Grandpa.
No. Hold on. What he meant was, yeah, that's what he's talking about. Was to go back to the compound from the beginning and see if we can get in through the caves that he went out through. See if we can go find Grandpa.
Well, we'll probably want to try a different entrance than that because that's full of bad shit.
Would Ezek have paid attention to it or not? Ezek, when you were picked up by this group of crazy people, were you more interested in where you're going or where you came from?
Getting away from the cave that had nothing but mushrooms, apexes, and the occasional kill squad.
Okay. You remember as they drove off with you in their vehicle, numerous other people there. There was some sort of earthquake or rumble behind you where you left from. But you didn't think anything of it because you're excited about where you're going.
Okay.
Fun.
Harlan, do you recall what you were told by Adjo as you guys left there?
You mean as we
Or
were
by Zid?
leaving? As we were fleeing from the spot where he had, I think, Ziggurat fucking heavy fast movers inbound to bomb the shit out of the place.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I didn't know what that. I didn't know about that as a. I didn't know about that as a player until later. I did see the explosions going on behind us as we were driving away and fleeing. And the only reason that we managed to succeed and get out of there, whereas most of the rest of the groups that were there didn't, from that attack and that bombing, and that was because we had a nomad driver. Because Ajo was there and got us out. I don't think we would have survived it otherwise. So it's part of the reason why I want a nomad driver for out in the wastes when we're going now.
Yeah. What is your group going to agree upon for a price range? For a nomad driver. So the job is the trip out and back.
2 flashbangs, man. That's high cost from he's willing to give up grenades. We'll deal with this with actual money, Ezek. Thank you, though.
And what's the going rate? Like, I don't even know what to talk about. I don't even know what to think.
Well, it's more a question of how much you're willing to pay, because that determines the quality bandwidth.
I mean, if I said 2,080 for a round trip, how would that? Is that good or bad?
Is there a?
You also need money for supplies.
Well, supplies could be lumped into that as well, depending on how you contract it and what you're willing to pay, right?
Yes, that's
so
what
you
we
can
want.
say we want a round trip with provisions, and then you're laying out what it is you're looking for and what you're agreeing, what the terms are, and you're saying we'll pay this area for it, and then Deep will see what he can do. He's not going to rip you guys off because he has close dealings with you all.
I mean, like,
but he also needs to know.
I think if we're going to include provisions and everything, like, I don't know, 3,500 total.
Well, we also need to remember we're talking about a vehicle big enough to carry all of us too. So that's part of what we're talking about renting as well. It's not just the Nomad. The Nomad's got to have access to a vehicle that he can use to do that. We are not a small group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us minimum.
Provisions for 5 people minimum.
Are you taking
6 because the driver.
We're not taking Kane or your driver with, are we? Or did you want to? And I know your driver doesn't have a purpose coming along.
If bosses 2 are staying in Night City, then that
I think
means
Kane would probably come because, I mean, it's his job to shadow me, basically.
okay, then that's going to be 7 provision for 7 people
per day, for however long it takes us to get out
Yep.
there, find what's going on, and do that. Which is, I mean, that's how much is that for a single day's provisions for what you need to do for that?
Well, if you look up the lifestyle, I don't remember what page that was on. They actually talk about the minimum threshold of feed. It was in the lifestyle section. I don't remember the exact pricing, but they actually talk about the exact cost per day per person in the core rule book.
All right, guys, how much did we have? If we're not spending a huge amount on buying the vehicle, I don't have any problems putting a decent amount down towards this so that we get a good driver, a good vehicle, and good food for while we're gone.
So kibble will be cheaper.
What's that?
Kibble will be cheap.
I don't have any problems eating kibble. You don't have any problems eating kibble. I don't think I'm going to get my grandmother to eat kibble.
No, I'm not going anywhere near any goddamn kibble.
Your boss is not going to eat any fucking kibble. Pinky don't want kibble.
Nah.
So I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look him up.
5K for everything.
Hold on. I'm gonna look at the Nomad and say
Maybe like 5 to 10.
we want good food. We want a damn good driver, and we need a vehicle big enough to do that. If 5K's not enough to do that, we're willing to go up to between 7.5 and 10,000 at the max. And if you're going to expect 10,000, food better be good.
I mean, it's definitely that's definitely the case, right? And that's why I said, what is your price bandwidth? Because you guys need to agree to it. But like you said,
5 to 7.5. Does that sound good, guys?
okay.
Yeah, I don't know why I said 2. I mean, well, no, I said 2 because of just the driver. Like,
Yeah, if we were just hiring a driver, two's not. I mean, that's not a bad amount. We would, if we were just hiring just the driver, though. We'd be providing the vehicle.
You can always look at, if you want to know some price range, right? For pricing, you can look at what is the job. Like they actually have the job table for downtime. You just running your job. How much is it to just earn income for a role, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be like the minimum that's expected per day for that, right? And then if you throw food on top of that being provided, well, what is the provisions per day? I was trying to find that because that tells you like how much things cost, like a daily feed. And I can't find that location. And I saw it before, and now I just can't find it. But they had like the actual different lifestyles and the cost per day and everything. And I can't find it again, even though I know I found it before. I remember seeing it. But they had that all in there, and I just can't recall it offhand. That's why I didn't say exactly what it would be and ask for a price range, so I can work on that later instead of taking up all stream to do that. So I am going to throw a note in the Cyberpunk chat for that so I don't forget. There we go. So no more forgetting. Cool. So I'll keep fiddling with that while we keep talking, see if I can find it. But that gives me a price range so I can know what they're willing to do based on the amount you've said you can go with.
Now the other aspect is what we had talked about doing was we had to go do the smash and grab back at the mansion. And part of that would have been getting a detailed description from Grandma of exactly how and where. And
Yeah.
So
To be honest, guys, I think that smash and grab needs to happen as soon as possible, rather than waiting, because we've already thrown a huge amount of shit of life tech into disarray. Now is the best time to fucking hit them harder, in the hopes that they're scattered and having problems.
you're not wrong.
Yep.
Totally agree.
So Grandma will tell you that she actually has 2 different locations in the house where she did work, but they were rooms right next to each other. They were both on the east side of the mansion.
Okay.
And there was 2 rooms. One that was back through the living area.
Okay.
That you guys remember, you peeked through the greenhouse into that room. So one's off that through a key card, and then she said one is up the hall from that. The one that has the predominant work on the biological aspects is the room that has the key card and pen entry system that is directly across from the greenhouse. Like, you go from the greenhouse straight across the
Living space.
It's not exactly a living room. It's a reading room, piano, entertainment, study room kind of thing. Multi-purpose visiting room. It's directly across.
Parlor.
Yeah.
They would have. If it was
She
Victorian
wouldn't happen to
time, they
have
would
the
have called
key
it.
on her.
Thank you,
would
Pepper
she?
Jack. Sorry, what were you saying?
She wouldn't happen to have a key card on her.
No, they took it. This is the area she was locked out of.
You don't keep a spare?
No, they didn't let her keep a spare.
I don't think they really let her.
Coded
Let's
everything.
make a fist and say I got his key card.
I'm gonna look at Ezek when he does that. I'm gonna look back at Grandma and say, "You said biological research. I'm assuming you have a full containment lab set up there, then."
Well, unfortunately, no, dearie. They didn't let me have that degree. However, I do have papers in the sarcophagi that was there that possessed the genetic material that we'd spoken about earlier.
Sarcophagi.
Yes.
With genetic material.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
alien shit she used to keep me on, or to bring me back from the fucking dead.
Yeah. She's still got.
I've decided, and I gotta change my character's name. He's now gonna have to be Lazarus. It's fucking horrible. No, not doing that. This is terrible. Let's, so if it's all papers, I'm gonna point at Ezek's. Is Ezek's method of entry possible with the walls, the doors, and such?
Say it again, because I got my brain wrapping around it, and I'm trying to make sure I answer your question fully.
Ezek's response to "I got key card" was to just hold up a fist.
Yeah.
Okay, like he's just gonna batter through the fucking door. Then I'm asking Grandma if the doors are reinforced enough to stand up to an Ezek for any length of time.
Oh, I wouldn't recommend that. You'll probably set the alarms off and possibly traps. You're welcome to if the poor boy wishes to end himself, but I'd really think that it's not a very good idea.
Ezek
Or
heard
can we
that.
turn this all off?
How are we going to get through the security on the doors and the setups like that?
Is Blue gonna come?
You have electronic security tech?
I
Is
don't.
Blue coming?
I'm going to immediately at that point say that's probably a good idea. I will contact Blue. Hey, Blue. We got a job. We've got a job that we would like the use of your skills for. Are you willing to help us?
Potentially. What is it you need?
And I will give her the details on what we're doing and why. I'm always 100% honest with Blue, because anything I try to lie to it, I figure that AI is going to find the truth out anyway, so she scours all the digital info. It's wasting my time.
Give me a day to see what I can evaluate on that endeavor, and I will be back with you then.
Okay. Sooner is always better, while they're still in disarray. But yes, I get it. Gotta prep.
Then if we've got time,
Well, she's also, as you know, she had been doing jobs with Iggy and Brianna, so she's not just.
I want to go meet the tech and learn how to fix my.
Okay.
Basically, I want to.
Yeah. Did you talk to Pinky about setting it up with him?
Yeah.
Since you didn't have his number. Yeah.
Yeah, we did the last
didn't
time.
have time to actually deal with it.
Okay. So, just for consumables, right? It is 100 eddies a month to have kibble. That's 2 meals of kibble a day for a month.
Would be 100 eddies.
Yeah. For fresh food, what your grandma usually has, it's 1,500 eddies a month per person.
Vomit.
7 of us with fresh food.
You don't have to
me,
give.
man.
You don't have to give Ethic fresh food. He doesn't care.
Oh no, I get that. I'm showing the spectrum, right? I went the cheapest garbage to the what everyone wishes they could do.
However
Other than
many
Ezek.
however many months of supplies we're gonna get, just get 2 months of that of kibble for every month we're gonna need for Ezek. That'll be fine. Plenty of food.
Yes. Get Ezek 2 months of food for every month of food we're going to get.
Instead of spending $100 per person per thing, and for cheap ass shitty kibble, spend $500 per person per month or per that.
Yeah.
You know.
So if you up it to 600 eddies per month, it actually gets you to the good prep pack, which allows you to have 1 meal of generic prep pack and 2 meals of good prep pack. That actually is a decent living.
Let's do that one.
I would probably grind my teeth and accept.
Don't worry, we'll find some fresh bugs to add to it along the way too.
Yeah, okay.
Zid showed me how the last time we were out here.
Great.
The good prep pack is the one I have. It's not bad. Better than kibble.
I just give her the side eye.
Well, the generic prep pack one is below that, and that's 300 eddies a month, and you get 1 meal of kibble and 2 of prep pack per day. So you still have to eat kibble at that level if you want to have 3 meals a day instead of going hungry. So it's pricey.
So at 600 per person, 7 people, that's 42.
200 for me.
Okay. So 5 people at 700 or 600 is 3,000. 200 for Ezek at that point, because he's gonna get mounds and mounds of kibble. At that point, so 3,200, and that's a month's worth for everybody.
A lot of roaches and crickets.
Yep. So, and I'm just telling you this cost so you guys understand the price range. That's all. It's to help understand what you offered, so you understand the range and stuff. That's all it was really for. Because Pepperjack was kind enough to send where those locations were at, which is good. So I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
he says it also includes expenditures for entertainment, cell phone,
Yeah.
taxi rides, all of that. For
They
that's
have
the
varying
whole
degrees of that for
lifestyle.
each one
Yeah.
within the
Well, no, but I mean the
pack
amounts that
food categories.
Yeah. So, how
So
long did they estimate this trip was going to take? Did we think?
You guys didn't.
Man, I can't imagine it's gonna take longer than like there and back.
We
Couple
did
weeks?
3 weeks or more in the car last time. Plus, we had a whole bunch of
What about
times
when your
where
car
shit
broke down?
broke. We had to fix it. We had to fucking heal. There's a whole bunch of dumb shit stuff. Let's spend the full
Right.
3,200 on a
Alright.
month's worth of food.
Okay.
So let's
Just
see.
to
That is
be
going
on
to
the
be
safe side. And guess what? It's not like it's not gonna get eaten.
There's probably going to be 3 to 6 weeks, depending on how far out the guy is.
Get 2 months worth.
And the problem is he's really good at 3 to 6 weeks, so a bit over a month.
Well, remember, we
At
had
most.
Puppy's dad make contact with him.
Right. Well, I was about to go into that.
Yeah.
He's updating on that position. If the guy doesn't move, great. But then if he does move, that shifts it.
Which is also part of the reason why sooner versus later to get going, if
Right.
possible.
And that guy doesn't quit moving, really. I mean, he stops for a day or two and then moves on.
I'll just ask my dad to tie him up so he can't move.
Look, I know your dad is
No.
pretty capable. I don't think your dad's going to do anything aggressive towards that guy at his camp, ever. Anyone who does
Which-
is very, very foolish.
And at the same time, what has your dad shown to actually be a mean guy like that? He's actually been quite the opposite with everyone. He's been very cordial and helpful
Except
and
boss.
polite.
You're
What's
a
up, boss?
corpo.
Yeah, because you're Corporal Scum.
I said people. Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't worry. He's
The
trying
corpo
to
joke.
he's trying to graduate to people now by becoming
Exactly.
an ex-corpo.
Hey, it's the name of the game. You gotta.
Have I even checked into work lately?
No.
Yeah, I basically have said unless you say otherwise, you have, because if you don't, you get fired.
I mean, am I just on a sabbatical?
A bit of one. You definitely might
A leave of absence?
need to get called in and asked about why you haven't been performing duties to help the corporation as much.
Going on a scouting trip. It'll take me like 3 to 6 weeks.
Scouting for what?
New talent.
Are you in talent acquisitions?
Yes.
I can be now, I guess.
The correct answer to that is, why are you questioning what I'm doing? Who are you to question
He's my
me?
boss. No, I mean, he's got his in with Kane. Like, Kane can just tell him what's going on. Unless Kane is starting to be more loyal to me.
I honestly think we may have given
Less
Kane a
loyal.
bad rap. Remember, if he is reporting to your boss, the best way to make sure that this works out very well is to pay him enough to make sure he's reporting what you want to your boss.
Yeah, feed him information.
So stop. Well, don't necessarily feed him information. You turn him so that he's giving information that benefits you, that will be detrimental to your own boss and
Well,
benefit
keep in
you.
mind,
Turn and
everyone
spies,
in a
man.
corporate
Turn and spies.
environment, everyone in a corporate environment, no matter what rank, is looking out for themselves. Number one.
Yeah, you stab upwards and towards the back.
Have you seen any of Terry Pratchett's movies or read the books with his Discworld series?
I have read
and the Wizards.
all of the Discworld. Every single book of that. There's like 32 of them. I've read them all.
How do wizards get to the top?
No.
Wizards and corpos. There's so much the same.
They're the same thing. Backstabbing, conniving, making sure you're taking credit from everyone else while doing as little as possible yourself.
So I had to bring it up because of that, because I'm like, they're so identical.
In modern terms, in reality, we call them politicians.
Yeah, sorry. Sounds like politicians. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that being said, I've kind of allowed it to be a little bit loose on that because I'm trying to not drive as real crazy with the weekly reports that he has to provide to his boss and everything. And it's being nice to Azrael, not his character, because his character has to deal with it.
I appreciate that.
Where are my TPS reports? I'm
Exactly.
gonna need you to come in on Saturday.
Are they signed in triplicate? Are they, all this stuff that technically you should be having to deal with, and you should be having to be very cautious about anytime you do anything during work hours. Between 7 and 9, 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. Anytime outside of that, you might be okay. Anytime inside of that, you really would be having an issue with the potential of not supposed to be doing that. And it could cause problems, but I'm choosing to overlook some of that to be nice to the players.
If not, then
And yes, I did say 7 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14 hours. That sounds like a standard corporate.
That's why I said it.
I'm not a fan of that.
Azrael.
More likely,
Sure.
14 hours, that's a standard corporate drones day, not the executive.
You're right. The execs sometimes do an extra 4 hours to 8 hours above that. Otherwise, they get bumped off because they're not getting ahead.
You see why I got out of that shit?
I just did math and my brain melted.
Yeah. Hold on. Do you see why I got out of that bullshit? It only worked for me, though, after I'd been bumped off.
Not everybody gets to be a zombie.
Nah, I don't have an insatiable craving for brains.
Oh,
So-
sorry to this is not having anything to do. Well, it has to do with tonight. Are we still stopping at 11?
I thought we had decided that we were going to try to stop at 10 from here on out.
I
what I
hadn't
meant.
gotten
Okay, yeah.
info from anyone really on that when I
Sorry.
said to send me
I
what
just
your thoughts were on
remembered
it.
Yeah.
If you guys want to do the 1 hour earlier like we talked about, I'm fine with that. I
fine with
just
that,
didn't
yeah.
get
No, I just
feedback from you
I
guys.
just forgot. So, yeah,
I know Nuts'
I'm
position
fine
on
with
that. Puppy Malkov.
Yeah, I'm fine with doing the 3 hours and then really brief break.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, she's
Puppy?
good too. She said she was fine.
Okay. I want to give her a chance to say anything more than that too if she wanted.
Oh yeah, no worries.
I have nothing more to say.
Okay. I just like making sure that no one is left out from having a chance to say their piece on things that affect them.
All right,
I am that kind of mean parent.
But yeah, in that we should probably move on to whatever action scene we're going to do, just to make sure that we're not running ourselves too short on time.
Yeah. There's bookkeeping we had to do, unfortunately, and we did it. So now, yes, on to that. Now, if you recall last time, there's actually a number of things that happened. One being the plan to hit the estate. There was a couple other things that happened last time as well.
What you talking about?
No? Sure.
There's that crazy cat that's trying to kill.
Yeah, that's another one that came up last time.
Oh wait, you mean this psycho who keeps sending me notes that I'm, sending me texts that says that I'm associated with you, therefore I'm now a target too?
I mean, I thought we were basically running away.
I mean, only if you get an A of her trying to kill me.
No, she said flat out I'm a target simply because I've been helping you and working with
Put
you.
it in a microwave.
See, the difference here is that if this was old Harlan before the therapy, simply being threatened would have been enough for him to totally ignore Pinky not wanting him to kill his sister in the process of this. Because if she starts shooting at him, he's going to shoot to kill back, kind of thing. This Harlan's going to be like, do we have to catch her? We really have to catch her and fix her? Is this really what has?
Yes, it is. Okay.
Well, you're helping me with Grandma, so I suppose I'll help you with that too.
And in the
Harlan,
meantime,
you're too good of a goody two shoes.
we're waiting. We have to wait the day to go to. And I have learned how to fix my arm.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Which is another one of the things. So, Pinky said that she would talk to Ponzo for you, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah,
We did that last time.
Yeah, they did that all last time, got the number and everything
Yeah,
switched
and
around.
I gave Isaac the number and stuff.
And so, payment of standard services, Ponzo's willing to do it. Because he is in it to make a living, right? And pay his bills instead of get broke. So, if you're willing to pay him, he's willing to work with you and show you a little bit on that. And he can do that.
Okay.
Which I think Pinky, being smart, would know that anyone's going to want money, so she could have prompted a message to him, hey, let me know how much it is and we will pay standard rates or whatever she wants to say on that to him, since she would know that Ezek's finances are grenades, not Eddie's. And she knows Ponzo's into Eddie's, so he can pay for food and ELO, but we won't get into that.
I'll just pay him in ELO.
I mean, if you pay him enough in ELO, he'd take it. But then you'd be setting yourself back quite a bit.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
I can play on the road trip.
You're not gonna have internet connection on the road trip. Not at all. We're gonna be so.
No, it's alright. I got Zid to hook me up. Okay, we're good.
Nope, Zid's MIA, remember?
I'm
No,
telling you.
this was a while ago. I was like, hey Zid. I went to him, a while ago.
You can violate the laws of physics.
You're not even gonna have
mess
agent
with the
access.
dopamine. Do not mess with her dopamine.
She's gonna go through withdraw.
Don't worry, I'll bring something along to keep you entertained on the drive. And gonna bring a fucking magnetic Scrabble board and a chess board. I'm bringing actual old school board games.
But they're called board games for a reason, because they're boring. No.
Well, your other choice is to look out the window at the dust cloud.
I would rather do that. And imagine
Make sure
myself playing ELO.
You can
Your
play
problem, not
imaginary,
mine. Anyway, I'm sure, like Prepper Jack said, though, because what we spent for expenditures counts as an entire lifestyle for the month.
Yeah.
He's assuming it's going to be like tons of handheld video games and shit like that in the car to keep us entertained, because we're not going to have otherwise a connection. So
we get to all
Well, that's why I
just
said
talk and get to know each other better.
That's why I asked your price range. Your price range that you're willing to pay probably dictates some of what you have available for the trip, right?
do you know how glad I am after you just said that, boss, that I have the ability to just turn my hearing off? We're going to spend the whole time just talking and getting to know each other. Click.
How do you add a second roll?
You ask me.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there's a way you can actually add rolls yourself. Are you taking the first rank in tech?
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah, I have to actually go and get it and pull it in and do it and enter it. It's a bit of a thing. Tech. So if you did rank 1, there you go. Updated.
Oh,
Field.
All right.
well, I'm gonna message Ponzo and let him know, like, hey, it just occurred to me that whatever Ezek wants you for, he don't have no money, so how much, what is he asking for it, and then how much?
Yeah, so what I'll do is I will find out that from the earn income page when I find that, and we'll go from there. Okay, so that's what I thought. So that quality of life thing doesn't cover housing.
Yeah, no, it's just entertainment,
But it's-
food,
yeah,
cell phone,
it's just food.
taxi rides. It's all the
Yep,
stuff you
and
need
some
to get
basic
around
entertainment.
and do stuff. Yeah. So I mean,
Yep.
while we're out doing this,
Perfect.
we're gonna be sleeping basically rough in the van.
Depending on the vehicle, yeah.
Do you
You
have
guys-
sleeping bags?
Nope.
Well, no, we set up the
Unless you
price
have
that
one.
we put out for what we were going to be able to afford and what we're going to put out for what we're doing for that. And
Yep.
the vehicle type that we needed for what we're going to do includes, though, we're doing a long-term trip out into the wasteland.
The specifications are round trip out to the wasteland to the coordinates provided, provisions, and rest capability is going to be part of that because of the duration, and it's for the full 7 people. So 6 people, and then of course the driver needs provisions.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah. But there's somewhere around that had the jobs as well. So yeah, an easy job is 500 eddies per person for the standard gigs, but that's not income. Here we go. So a tech. If you pay him $200 eddies, he would be glad to work with Ezek and get it taken care of. He might be willing to be talked down less, but
Haggle. Haggle.
Okay. You trying to get him to the minimum, or are you trying to get him down to just a little bit less?
As much as I can go. I think it's only 10%, isn't it?
Under standard circumstances, yes. This is different since it's using the earn income structure.
It's also different
Instead.
because it's Ponzo.
Yes.
Out of character,
And it
I think
depends
you
on-
shouldn't pay him. Out of character, I think you should.
How you're convincing him.
Just give him the cash.
Well, listen. We've known each other for a while, right? So like, we played a lot of ELO in the past, you know. I don't even know what level I'm in right now.
If we do another ELO session, I'll figure that out. But that was a fun side thing to do while people weren't able to make the session.
Yeah. And you know, I'm going on this long trip for now, but like when I get back, you know, maybe we can play some more ELO when I get back.
Roll negotiate.
Staples. Where is it? Where is it?
Which I think is actually just, it actually is probably just haggle, I think, for you, since it's roll ability or negotiate.
Yeah, I've never rolled like a normal negotiate.
Well, they don't technically have a negotiate skill. It'd be like persuasion or trading, or bribery, depending on how
Okay.
you're going about it.
I think bribery would be appropriate here.
Bribing, trading, there's a number of things depending on how she wants to flavor it towards him.
Do you want to flavor it with money, with rejection, or with humiliation? Pick.
Yeah.
None of which are, I mean, money's the best
And I was going to
choice,
take you
not
out for a
creating
date on
problem.
ELO. Not anymore.
Could try it.
Okay. So he says he can drop it to 150 since it's you. But he hopes you know that working with Ezek is really, really difficult because he doesn't understand simple concepts.
Yes. You know what? Deal.
No,
Say
He
got
doesn't
it.
even understand reading properly. He just
It's
looked
not-
at technical
it's-
manuals.
Ezek understands simple concepts. Those are the only ones he understands, however. So,
Well, keep in mind, this is Ponzo who thinks
physics.
this is simple, not this.
physics at its basics for how you have to truly interact with it is pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's the theoretical stuff in physics that gets to be ridiculous.
Which, I mean, that's
wonder-
closer to what Ponzo enjoys.
Yeah, practical physics is.
He's
Was it Brianna that
He's
had
a-
all the books?
She has the
I
little
wonder-
books,
Like,
the
I
little
wonder if
booklets.
she has a book on how to talk to an exec. Too bad she's
No,
not
she's
here.
working on
Yeah.
that one still.
Ah, okay.
No,
But
I mean,
it's not in the process.
She
That's not
previously
intelligent, but
engaged
yeah,
with
every-
others, so she had people aren't for eating because she had to already engage with that in her previous career.
Yeah.
But Ezek has a decent tech score, so he doesn't have to explain how or why. All he has to do is you take this, put it here, and do this, and Ezek will be able to do that and repeat it because he has a decent tech
Right, but that's not how Ponzo works.
That's okay. It's going to be a frustrating learning experience and a frustrating teaching experience, is what I think is going to end up happening.
That's why he's wanting to go more up than down on that. Because Ezek
Listen, I'll
is
give you one of these awesome weapons I found in Elo. Okay.
probably pretty tempting.
But it all depends on whether or not when you come back and look and you're like, okay, so let's both log on, and you log in and he's 700 levels higher than you are since the last time you played.
Well, I'll just try to make sure he stays busy while I'm gone. You know, I'm calling up all my contacts like, hey, you should definitely go to Ponzo. He's great. Just convincing people to go and like go get work from
Is
him.
Pinky actually going to do that?
Yes.
Okay. I need you to roll a referral check. Let's see. Let's have persuasion. Just
I will
shouldn't
flat
convince
out-
people of it.
I will flat out say that if you do well with that, I mean, having a fixer specifically recommending you for go here for work is pretty huge. They usually only do that if people are paying them to refer them.
Kind of is.
Persuasion 21. So I'm going to say it now because I might forget to backtrack and do a flashback when it happens. But as you're leaving town, you're going to get a message a day or two after from Ponzo saying that, you know, if he knew that you're going to make him have such a referral notice, he wouldn't have charged you the 150 for Ezek. But he appreciates it. Business has been booming and he hasn't had as much time in Elo as he'd like, but man, he might actually be able to afford an apartment this month.
Hey, to be fair, Pinky would have felt bad if she didn't pay anyways.
I mean, he literally owns up to the fact to her after that referral business that he was trying to figure out how to pay for his apartment. He was going to be homeless.
You're welcome. See, that's why you should keep around.
So he's like, I don't get to play
And
Elo
then-
as much as I want,
and then,
but
you know,
I get
Pinky's
to keep
just
my
like,
house.
yeah, Pinky's just like, of course, what our friends are for. Now you'll never catch up to me and you.
You were supposed to mute it. You're supposed to mute it before you said that right in front of Hanzo.
Saying the quiet part out loud.
So, any other last minute things before we head towards the mansion? Because we've put it off a bit with all these other things that needed to be done kind of before that.
I
You
buy a
did see the
flashlight.
message from Az.
Yeah.
So Beware. Don't murder us.
Can I buy a flashlight or like a headlight?
Flashlight or headlight for what?
Just to have on me. Also, I'd like to refill my ammo.
You have 57.
I have 57?
Or do you mean... Oh, yeah, you just have to hit reload. See, like that.
Oh, wait, how did you
Now you're down to 44.
That? I didn't
so
know
under
you,
gear,
I didn't...
there's a... Yeah.
I didn't know how to do that.
You did re-roll last time, once. So let me give you your bullet back, because the game doesn't know that you re-rolled. So, there you go. So you have one mag in, you have one spare. If you want more, you can definitely buy more ammo. That is definitely something within Pinky's sphere of acquisition capabilities, being a fixer of, you know, a lowly 8th degree.
It's one of those things I wish that Foundry could keep track of, that it just doesn't do very well.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do a load of, okay, I got a slug, I got an incendiary round, I got a.
Actually, you can't. In red, it says you have to have it loaded with a certain type. You have to actually load one type of ammo.
Well,
even though realistically, we know that that's not how it actually works.
Well, what that means is that I have to get 2 more shotguns. One that I put incendiary rounds in, one that I put slugs in, and one that I just switch guns.
That is a valid option.
Why does your media have 3 shotguns and no camera? What a brain dance. Why do I need a camera? Fuck.
There are a handful of special weapons that do allow different rounds. You're right. They're basically multi-mag, and you can flip which magazine you're using. Absolutely correct.
In reality right now, there's this really bizarre looking shotgun that actually it's got stick mags on it with a 5-round setup on it. It's a 12 gauge.
Dual sticks.
But no, it's 3, man. There's 2
that one
coming
has
out.
3.
It's almost like it's got a tripod coming off the bottom of it, but they're magazines. And it actually has a toggle switch that you can flip in the midst of shot to change which magazine you're firing from.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what the inside workings of that gun is actually set up to look like to do that effectively. Or
right.
I bet you it's not reliable if you're switching it constantly. Not after you fired it a few times, gotten it dirty.
Well, I would get a headlight. If there's no headlight, then just a regular flashlight. And I'd also ask if anyone else needs ammo. Because I was going to call someone up.
So there is a flashlight, and you can also get neon lights, basically like, you know, little brake lights that you can toss or hold. I don't see a headlamp, but you could probably convince Ponzo to modify a flashlight into a headlight for you if you wanted, or some sort of hands-free option for you.
Yeah, then I would do that. Hey, Ponzo, so I got this flashlight here, but I don't like holding things.
And you should
can
figure
make
out a
it
way
hands-free.
Can
Please.
you figure out a way to safely stick this to my forehead?
And not just the duct tape.
Do you want to obstruct your beautiful visage with having something on your head like that, or would you rather it stuck on like a strap on your shoulder, or I could maybe duct tape it to your gun?
Duct tape.
Hey, it's a tech and handyman and Canadian's best friend.
I say just strap it to my shoulder.
Okay, so he's gonna actually make it where it goes on like basically kind of like a shoulder harness kind of thing that's just there, shining out.
All right, cool.
So we'll call it a shoulder light instead of a flashlight.
Yep. And how much does the flashlight cost?
20 A's.
20. Alright.
No, just 20. Which is why I said I can't even remotely consider telling you can't find it at your rank, because you can find much better than that at your rank.
Yeah. Right.
So there you go. You have your shoulder light.
Yeah.
What else did you want?
I wanted ammo, and I was asking if anyone else needed ammo.
You want specialty ammo or just basic ammo?
I don't know what specialty ammo is.
Well, there's
Or what it does.
acid, expansive, thermite, armor piercing, explosive, incendiary. There's junk rounds if you want to go to cheap rounds that you can just fling out, but they do less damage. There's rubber rounds. There's smart rounds. There's oversized rounds.
I need some more shotgun shells and DMX. I collected incendiary rounds off of all those people that I could last time, and we never got around to actually figuring out how much that was and put them onto my sheet. For the incendiary shotgun shell.
There is 33 incendiary shotgun shells in storage that I said was in storage for you.
In the storage. I thought I
put them in the stash so you could pick how many you wanted, instead of just making you carry them all. So they're all in the stash.
I need to swap them all out of the stash and onto me, and I need to get rid of 94 junk slot shotgun slugs and replace them with regular basic shotgun slugs.
Okay.
So yeah, I need some ammo too, Pinky.
Okay.
And then you wanted the incendiary. Do you want shotgun slugs that are armor piercing or rubber slugs?
Armor piercing.
Yep.
There you go.
And I'll take some armor
I
piercing
emptied
ones as well.
Stash of everything other than rubber shotgun slugs and junk shotgun slugs. And do you want basic shotgun shells, or do you want more slugs from Pinky?
Well, I just got you just gave me 30 armor piercing slugs, so let's just stick with, no, with what I just grabbed with both the incendiary and that, we're just going to stick with what I just got. I don't need anything more beyond that.
Okay.
I don't use the basic, to be honest, as much as the having the area of effect template that you can get with the shotgun from that, the basic is kind of neat. It just doesn't do enough damage to be effective.
You gotta get close,
well.
and yep.
You got to get close, and you got to hit multiple targets to make it so that you're doing more damage than what you would just hit somebody with a slug.
Puppy.
Yeah.
You may not want to necessarily do this, but if you go to the stash, you can have that many rifle rounds if you look at your character sheet now. That's just taking all the standard rifle rounds out of stash.
Oh my.
So 178. You guys had 130 rifle ammo just sitting in stash.
Wow. Wow.
You have 50 armor piercing and 50 rubber rifle rounds also in stash sitting there.
I'll take the armor piercing. If that's okay.
There you go.
Yeah,
All right, then.
By the way, after that whole assault, Kane should have given me back my assault rifle too, did he?
Which map? What was that where we did that? Remind me.
When we dealt with the scavs.
For the first time?
This is where he took mine because he didn't have one.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where that was. Which map?
The train yard. You know, where Grenade Central went off, we ripped one container apart. That's where he
I'm
wanted
not
it.
showing that he had it on that one. That's why I was asking.
You're trying to find whichever instance of the token actually has it, so you can just pull it back off there.
Well, I'm trying to make sure I give you the right one, because there is some special ones, so that's why I am trying to do that, instead of just give you a new one.
No, I don't think I
It's-
had a specialty assault rifle. I got the specialty shotgun. I got the Militech bullpup for that, but I don't think that I
I
had.
just can't remember which instance it was that you guys went to, that he came with you and you guys had that. Oh, no, it was the assault on the mansion that did it.
Okay, it was the first assault on the mansion.
Yeah. You know how I know that? That's how
There
I know
it
that.
is. Ah, there we go. Being a goofy cat, Jenkins. What are you doing?
Dude, you have a lot of rifle ammo. Harlan.
Yeah, Harlan can carry quite a bit. Keep that in mind. He's not wearing.
No, I'm just saying, like,
ridiculous
Puppy was
armor.
trying to get rounds, buy some more rifle rounds, and here you are with quite a supply.
What? I was shocked.
Hmm,
I'm not
just trying to be
hoarding.
better.
I'm not hoarding anything, am I? How many rifle rounds am I carrying anyway? Oh, Jesus tits, I didn't realize I had that much.
Yeah, because that's how many you gave to Edge when you gave it to him, to Kane.
Well, I mean, it is an assault rifle. It does go through rounds relatively quick if somebody's burst firing it. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to auto fire anything, so.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I just was commenting on the fact that
Puppy,
you had
do you
that
have
in.
enough? Do you have enough rounds now? Because
yeah, she does.
okay.
She also has 170 right now.
Yes, hey, we want to be prepared.
So Zid has 130 rounds of his special ammo left.
You know, we're going into the wasteland. We got to be prepared.
Boss, you have a heavy pistol. I believe there's still some rounds in storage for that too, if you need. Yeah. There's
There's
17
AP
thermite
grenades.
rounds, and there's 128 heavy pistol rounds.
I don't think there's any AP grenades in there. There might be.
We can go
No,
buy some.
there's no grenades in storage.
Well,
Should we buy
that's
some
something that
grenades?
Puppy can probably get with what we're doing right now, anyway.
Yeah. I can.
Yep, so that's
I
why we're
can
running
get
over
that.
everything to make sure you guys are ready for your assault on the
We need
manor.
to do a night market
Since-
for munitions.
No,
We're still
actually,
kinda
not
late. We
not
can't.
not
We already
with
did one.
not with Puppy. See, the problem is with Puppy is if you look at the roll ability at rank 8. Let me get there because I want to read it for a reason, because it's funny. So, operator. So at rank 8, okay, you can have access to local court presidents. The mayor of the city is aware of her. Local celebrities are aware of her. So boss's boss would actually be aware of Pinky in the city and consider her as a potential person that he'd want to contact to get stuff because of her rank. She can source anything all the way up to very expensive whenever she wants.
Yes,
Like,
I'm working on trying to get to rank 9 because I can do more.
The rules basically say you cannot restrict their access to anything of that price or lower.
Yeah.
Because she just knows where to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Rank 9 is anything of luxury price and lower. She just knows where to get it.
Yes. And then I would be able to set up a night
Rank
market
10.
and a midnight market inside
Everything.
it.
Yes. At rank 9, you can do a midnight market. You also get 20% reduction on price when buying and selling, or increase depending on which way you want it to go.
Yep.
So,
That's what I'm working towards.
and then, of course, rank 10, you can get double pay for dangerous jobs. I'm sure you wouldn't happen to, pocket most of the extra half that you double you negotiate, right?
Oh, of course not. I'm doing it.
But yeah, being able to source whenever you want very expensive items in lower means that body armor, ammo, all of that stuff is just available because she knows where to find it. She's like, oh, yeah, no, I know a guy.
The grenades count for that?
Are they an item? Yep. Does that mean they have a price category? Yep.
Well, what's the price category on AP grenades there, Malkov?
It is 100 premium.
100 eddies per. Which is
So
premium
Pinky can just
category.
go, oh yeah, I know where you can get those.
Yep. And I can haggle
Yes.
for them. And haggle the price down too.
Actually, keep in mind for this,
98.
there is the haggle where you get 5 of the same item, you get 1 more for free.
That's true.
Better.
I forgot about that one.
So buy 10, get 12.
Basically.
Buy 10, get a dozen, yeah.
If that's what you want to do.
Perfect. I have 13 AP.
Okay. Are you gonna have?
Those
Are you
are very
marking
good
the
for
money
packing
off your inventory or the stash money? Where are you marking off that 1,000 eddies?
Dash.
Okay, just mark off armor piercing grenades for Ezek. Oh, you already put them on.
Yeah, I already had one, so I just changed it. How do you lower? I don't see a way to edit Eurobooks.
So in the stash, when you open it, there is a plus and minus. There's a modify by and reason.
Oh, I see.
So for this, you'd type 1,000, and then they have the reason, which is nice because then you can keep track of why things are being done, and that way it's always known where the money is going instead of not having that known. So yeah, you can just punch it in there and hit minus.
I don't see a place to enter.
You don't see a place to enter the amount? Oh, I thought you guys had the ability to see the modify by and put that in like on your character sheet.
And then it has a little minus to drop down again. And below that, it's the Eurobooks.
Huh. Okay, I can do it. I thought you guys had access.
No.
Do we need any smoke grenades?
Always.
One or
I
two
have
at
5.
least. I don't maintain grenades because I'm not good at throwing them. I'm good with the shotgun. I stick with that. I don't want to accidentally, oops, I dropped a grenade at my feet and my friend's feet.
That's never happened.
No, nothing like that's ever
One
happened.
grenade.
Ever.
Fine if it's just one.
Keep in mind, not everyone has the cyberware to see through smoke. So when you drop
Can
smoke,
we get some goggles? Can we get some IR goggles for them?
Pinky,
Can we?
and
Are those
I think
thing we
who
can
else
get
was it?
as goggles?
Harlan.
How long does it take to actually replace your eyes with cyber eyes? What's the time?
It takes a visit to the local Ripper Dock to
It's
chop
hitting
up your-
Ripperdoc and doing that. See, the whole reason I was waiting on that is I was actually going to talk to because the dude out there is a Ripperdoc, right? I was going to talk to him about whatever fucking crazy bullshit he might have out there.
Keep in mind, you do know someone who is basically using cyberware without being augmented themselves. Iggy has a number of components that require cyberware without having any cyberware.
Was that possible?
So he has smart glasses, which allow you to be wearing glasses that count as basically cyber eyes, so you can put slots in them without actually having your eyes removed.
And to do that, what do you have to have?
Like there actually is a device called smart glasses, and then you can actually put in cyber eye options to that.
Well, fuck that. Yeah, I'm just gonna buy a goddamn set of cyber fucking smart glasses and put in the cyber eye option to see IR through smoke.
So
option is called IR.
Smart glasses are eyewear with 2 options for optional slots for cyber eyes. So you get 1 less slot.
So you could do
If you
the
had-
IR UV. That takes 2.
Right. Well, I was just gonna say you have 1 less slot than if you actually have the actual cyber eyes, but then you don't have to
I don't have to have
Chop
surgery.
meat
It doesn't require
and
meat
lose
chopping.
humanity, and yeah.
Yeah, no. No, I don't want to do any of that if I don't have
And
to.
actually, you can also get a smart lens, which is basically like a contact that gives you 1 cyber eye option, and even that doesn't require you to
You could get anti-dazzle for that.
remove. So
Well, to be
there are
honest,
some options.
IR is for dealing with smoke and darkness, right? Or seeing things with
Oh,
heat.
there's low light IR UV. It's kind of a broad spectrum thing. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
That's
see
all-
through smoke and darkness. You can
And that's all
mitigate
one
any.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one thing that takes 2 options.
Oh, but that takes 2 option slots. That's why. Okay, so that would be the whole set of goggles if I was going to do that.
Right.
How much are the glasses?
The glasses are 500.
Pinky,
So if you call
wearing a set
Pinky
of
up,
talk
she
him
can do
down.
it.
I can talk him down.
Well, I know you can talk them down. I know you absolutely can talk them down. Do you have a way to see through smoke?
No.
Get some
This
She
is
has
why I'm
cyber
saying
eyes.
I do have cyber eyes.
Because if we all can see
just-
through smoke, we can just literally coat the battlefield in smoke, and it's gonna anything we can't see through smoke is gonna have.
It's
a hard
true.
time.
It's true. I have cyber eyes. Do I just need a chip and just?
There's a
You have
mod
cyber
that you
eyes?
need to put on them.
What
She
options
does.
do you
What do you
have?
have in your cyber eyes?
I have
Nothing.
nothing. I never got anything.
You can just get them added to your cyber eyes. To your slot.
Okay.
Your 3 option slots.
Okay. Then I'll do that.
Eventually, I'll have a good enough upgrade. that I can upgrade them to have fourth slot.
And then
So you and Harlan. Was anyone else? No.
Everybody
Other
else,
than
Everyone else is
bosses, extras. Yeah.
bosses extras get equipped by their corp. We ain't paying for that.
I'm just saying that they can't see in the dark. That's all I was saying. I didn't say. I was just saying that. Yeah, they also had said they couldn't, which is fine.
Boss can,
Yeah,
boss can buy Kane a pair.
If he needs
if he wants
yeah.
to.
Hey,
All
you
right,
want
so I will put that on. Do you want me to just dock the stash for that?
Yeah.
I did.
Is there anything else you
Haggleton.
guys want?
I want a knife that I can just put on my belt.
Okay. So feel free
Yeah.
to make a list and chat of things you
think
want, and
there's-
I'll
I
be
think there's a knife in the stash.
pulling
like,
that up.
Is there?
Yeah, it's an excellent quality one.
Okay, then I'll take that. So now we can get a bunch of smoke grenades then.
Okay.
Yeah, 24
dozen.
sounds good. Yeah.
All right, then yep. And
They're
then
cheap too.
And literally anyone can use them. You just drop them at your feet and you're in a smoke cloud. You don't even have to throw them then.
noise.
So everybody should be carrying a couple.
Yeah.
So Pinky now has her IR. And then I need to do Arlen's. Okay, so you'll see under your cyberware, Arlen, you have smart glasses. They count as cyberware so that the mechanics can be put on there and you can actually install the cyberware component. However, it's not actually cyberware. As you notice, you lost no humanity for them
Yep. Awesome.
because
I see it.
it's not cyberware, but it still gets equipped there. All right, and you said smoke grenades.
Yep.
How many?
2 dozen.
2 dozen.
Yeah.
Are you doing the 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means you're gonna buy 20, and then you'll have the extra 4.
For free. How much are smoke grenades? They're cheap, aren't
50
they?
apiece.
Yeah, they're cheap.
Not that much.
So
The
that's
amount
1,000
of,
eddies for that.
Help they're gonna, or damage they're gonna mitigate. We should also buy some speed heals.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Can anybody use a speed heal? I thought you had to be a med tech to do that.
Did not do that. All right, so
I don't know.
No, he said you have to be med tech to make them, not use.
Oh, make them. Okay, that's right.
We'll just have to pay a med tech to make them.
I could
I'm
probably
sure
get
there's
some.
med techs out there that sell them. Probably how they make their money.
I mean, rules as written, no. In reality, probably. I mean, who
Yeah, I can,
wouldn't?
I mean,
If they
otherwise
could, you know,
basically have
do
to
it.
have a med tech.
But the thing is that also means they have a monopoly on it, so they can charge whatever they want.
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
they're not going to be cheap.
No. I believe I said last time it'd be like, I know it was at least 100, probably more.
Hey, Grandma, do you know how to use a speed heal on people?
George here, you just stick it in them. Making them's a completely different topic.
Do you know how to do that?
No, dearie. I can make you something that can heal you. I just didn't say that it would be a speed heal
Bring
or that it
someone
would
back
have
to
no
life, But you
downsides.
can't make a speed heal.
She can make it Ezek. She can bring you back to life. Can't make a speed heal.
She can do other things like speed heal, is what she's saying. She just isn't a med tech trained, so she doesn't necessarily have the ability to not have
the
downsides on
drawbacks.
what she makes. She's a chemist and a scientist and stuff like that, so she can do that.
Oh, so you
But
basically you're
not
talking about making
necessarily.
the street drug version of a speed heal.
Right, right.
Can you give me the combat knife that's in the stash? I don't know how, or if I can.
You should be able to drag and drop it on you or trade and put it on your character.
Oh, it says
Yes,
I
it's at
lack
least gonna be
permission.
Oh. Weird. Alright, I'll do it in just a second. So yeah, at least 100 eddies per shot. Minimum
Okay.
for speed heal. I just quickly flipped through all the different drugs, seeing what they had for street drugs and everything. Of course, any of the pharmaceuticals don't have a price on them because they're not for sale.
Of course.
All right, and you want the combat knife. There you go.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay.
And I guess I'd call around asking about the speed heals.
So yeah, you can find some. Let's have you roll a haggle. And then have you give a price that you're willing to spend on that. Nice, 30. What price range are you saying you're willing to spend on it? Keep in mind, someone may be more willing to do a bulk if it means that they can sell for more, make more of a profit. So it's not necessarily the
How much is a
quantity. Bulk means quantity. Like you buy
I meant how many
100 of them.
is in a bulk.
It depends on their batch that they make. But the point is, how much you're willing to spend dictates the ease of finding someone,
You're muted,
and then
Nix.
gives you a range
Buy five,
of
get one
acquisition.
free. Just use that whole deal.
Okay.
That example works.
That's a bulk example, in my opinion.
Yes, it is.
All right. We just want 5 then. And get 1 free.
We want to know how
Okay,
much they're going to
five.
cost. It depends. If they're 5 and we can
I'd say
afford
at
10 or
least 15 or
we can-
20.
we
It'll be
can
out
afford
for a
10
while.
or 15 or a while, yeah, that'd be great. But
And
Okay.
you can only use one a day.
But we gotta
but
figure out how much it all comes to.
But
If
the
we do
last
that.
last time I was out in there, we had a med tech with us basically the whole time.
Yeah.
We don't this time. Ezek's right, we need speed heals. Malkov's right. Ezek's not really comprehending of that other than they help in the moment, and
They make me not feel so bad.
Stop the leaking.
Cool.
Well, they stopped the unwanted leaking. They stopped all leaking, there'd be a bigger problem.
That's the only leaking that I have to worry about.
So what price range are you shooting for? Or are you guys going for a quantity and don't care how much it costs? I mean, I'm sure if you're willing to drop 10 grand, someone's going to be willing to, you know, possibly even from, you know, medical facility themselves, smuggle some to you.
There might be somebody on Twitch that didn't hear you, Jenkins. Try again.
Because, I mean, if you pay enough, I'm sure someone at Trauma Team is willing to be like, hey, I got some here. I may get fired, but...
How many can we get for 10K?
Is that what you're wanting to spend?
Well, I mean, it's not like these aren't an investment that we're going to use for fucking ever until they're... I mean, do they have an expiration date? Yes, last week. That doesn't mean they're bad.
So I'm trying to let you guys have some freedom to decide as player characters how much they would be willing to part with for this, and then make some calculations and rolls and see how much you get for it.
I think you spend 10K.
Okay.
I don't have a problem throwing between 5 and 10K at it.
Yeah. I'm good with either 5 or 10.
What you should say is looking for 5K worth of speed heals, and if the price is right, maybe buying 10K worth.
Okay.
That's the way you draw them in, and they'll figure out where they think the bulk needs to be at that price range. Gonna spend
Okay.
5K on speed heals. If the price is right, might be willing to spend 10.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah. I'll let them know that. Willing to
Pinky,
spend 5.
who
Like, gonna
is
spend
a
5, but
who is a fixer that you've worked with that has a shady reputation? I know this is putting you on the spot. Don't stress. Have fun with it. If you need help with one, you can let me know, and I can give you some that I know of that are existing in the world.
You don't want her to just make up a name for you?
I'm fine with that if that's what she
can
wants.
I just make up a name?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh. Well,
Who's in
I
shady
know this guy.
fixer you've worked with?
I know this guy, and he's always, you know, the guy that's, you know, dealing stuff in dark alleyways. The kind of guy you don't want to mess with, all right?
Joey the
The kind
Badger.
of guy you tell the scary stories, but he's the guy in the scary stories to your kids. All right.
Now, nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, if she said to pick someone, she may have wound up picking, you know, Mary Jenkins or something. I have these still here. I'm just giving her freedom.
You mean Screaming Jenkins? He just left.
Yes.
He's screaming at me that it's bedtime, is what he's telling me, because it's normally about now I'd be getting ready for bed.
Yep.
Screaming Jenkins. I'm pretty sure that's what they call him.
So, if you want to we can work out a character if you want, or we can use one of the existing ones. I thought I'd give you the choice on that if you like that idea.
Yeah.
That you have
I
some fun.
like that.
Hey, DM, 45 minutes left. I think we're probably just doing prep and waiting until we have a full group for the actual assault, or...
Let's see here. And you said you're going to spend 5 to 10.
Yep. 5.
Well, I mean, you guys keep coming up with more stuff that you want and that you're trying to buy.
5K up front, and then like if it's good.
I didn't say you're wrong, but I was not notified till now, so there's no preparation ahead of time.
Well, and in a lot of cases, guys, we've said, you know, we want to try to do the shopping off stream.
Yep.
Everybody is too busy to really do much of the shopping off stream right now. We're down Matt for a while. We're down Azrael right now because of what's going on with what he's got to deal with for family stuff. This is a good time to deal with this, because to be honest,
why I'm not upset about it.
I'm not real worried about going into a combat situation without boss, but I would prefer to have somebody out there as yet another target than just, you know, the more of those that's better for me. And besides, boss exposes himself to fire, which makes him a good magnet for that. Well, he does. I mean, I'm not trying to give Az any shit. That's just boss being fucking way too cocky about certain things.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's the Corpo. So your shady contact, and we'll just call him Shady Contact for now, and we'll get into who he is later, or she is.
It's a he.
Are able to get a deal from a person at Trauma Team facility here in Night City, and they've got a crate of 30 speed heal they'll give you for the 10K.
Okay. You guys.
So 30 and 10K, that's what, 300 a pop, roughly? Yeah, that's not bad. 333 a pop. I'm not good for what? Yes. Yes.
Yes is what you're trying to say.
I stopped, paused, and went, why am I arguing with myself about this? Yes.
All right. All right. Deal.
All right.
Tell no one.
By the way,
Then
while you're requesting ridiculous shit, puppy, see what you can put out for feelers for an orbital launch vehicle. Sorry. We've been over that. I know you ain't there yet.
Oh, one thing at a time. Gosh, I know you're like eager and stuff, but calm down.
Well, I mean, first I gotta get the orbital launch vehicle. Then I have to convince someone to give me her nukes.
Yes.
So you guys now are down to 63K.
Still got a lot of money.
You guys did a lot to make a lot of money.
Hey,
recently.
I'm gonna say
it wasn't.
I'm gonna look down and go, yep, lots of money. These ain't ever coming clean.
He's just
Imagine if you could remember your previous life.
I can, in flashes that make me understand why it is that, you know, you read those stories about serial killers and they start talking about them torturing animals. There's a reason I don't ever want to be that guy again. If that guy can come back, I'd rather nuke myself to get rid of the people that created someone like I used to be.
Yeah. So, Blue is going to be able to give you the option. She can come with you, or she can try to utilize the information she had from LifeTech's last dive that she had and create a pass card for you.
Oh, awesome.
So she gives you the choice. One, it means she's going to want a cut of basically any funds that could be potentially involved. One is she's just going to make you pay for the item.
We got money.
I mean,
You want to pay her for her service, or you want to pay her for
I mean,
the
I feel,
pass?
I
Either
feel
one's
safer
fine.
if Blue comes.
Well, I mean, Blue is 100% capable at more, as far more than just showing up. Yeah, her services are more expensive than just the pass. The pass handed to us is her not having to put herself at risk.
But she also knows that if you get caught with the AI on hand, that you're all in trouble. And so she wants to make sure you guys make that choice of your own free will.
Oh, hold on. I'm just gonna.
We're already
My
in trouble.
whole thoughts that go along. What's that? Why would we be in trouble? We're associating and working with a known AI. As far as NetWatch is concerned, that's execute on site for anybody that's known to do that.
And if they find out that you provided it with a body and released it, and
it doesn't get any better.
no, it's just
they're not-
death penalty, excruciating death penalty. What's the worst death penalty we can give you? I mean, you wind up dead no matter which one it is. So, I mean, were you in the same room with an AI? You're dead.
Yeah, that's the problem with Nightwatch. Two, I mean, it's just gotten a bit out of hand. Blue's not a threat to anyone. Or at least
You don't know
Blue's
that.
not a
She's
Blue's-
threatened everyone so far.
Blue's not a threat to me. Blue's my friend. Business associate. Partner in
It's not what
Netwatch
Nightwatch
crime.
says.
Partner in Netwatch crime. The moment I knew that she was an AI and had continued to associate with, as far as I was concerned, I'd already made the decision that I was screwed. We've already signed death warrants for ourselves just to have been interacting with her. So anything else we do that NetWatch is going to not like, I mean, don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that I'm going to go immediately starting to try to tunnel a hole through the black wall to let all the AIs out. That's insanity. Leave Skynet out of this, Australia's. That's a toddler. That's an AI toddler.
Right? And that's the thing, like, something's definitely odd about Blue, which you guys have noticed. But at the same time, she's admitted what she is.
You know why it's one of the reasons why I've never wanted to destroy Blue? I think Grandpa created Blue for a reason. I don't know exactly what that reason is fully yet, but he didn't destroy her and ended up pulling her out to do that. There's got to be a purpose to her.
The fact that he was willing to upload her into a Netrunner's cranium
Yeah.
to get her out of there.
Like I said, I honestly thought that Zid was a simulation Blue was running of the dead Netrunner that she was fucking puppeting around. I was glad to be wrong about that when we transferred her out. I figured Zid's body would just flop
So
over
real
there.
talk here, real talk for a minute, and like metagaming, right? That was actually one of the rules that Zid made during his process of getting his self eradicated was, is she able to actually route his psyche back to his actual body or not? So there was actually a rule on whether Sid was actually fine. Just a
like I said,
rendition or not.
I thought for certain, like I said, I honestly thought that he'd already been dead for months at this point already. So
He very well could have been.
The only issue with that was they didn't. Yes, Australia. Zid spent a big chunk of chapter 1, all of chapter 2, and a portion of chapter 3 with a rogue AI in his head. I mean, she's a friendly rogue AI, but she's still a rogue AI.
Still an AI. Yeah, it was interesting.
And to be honest, anybody who watches the way that Ezek does combat for long will need therapy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, the nice thing is, Blue doesn't have to worry about losing humanity when she gets cyberware.
Okay. So what is in the spot where the brain would be in her?
You actually have a brain there. You guys had to get a cyber brain, which is part of the Wise Man kit, and you had to have the tech modify it. So you guys had Ponzo modify it with his net runner abilities, and being a tech, he's a tech net runner. He actually was able to build it in such a way and modify it to handle net code, basically like Black Ice, or in this case, a full-blown AI to be uploaded instead.
We compartmentalized that job enough that, well, Ponzo's pretty fucking smart. Yeah.
Ponzo probably already knows.
I'm gonna hold on. This is something that while we're talking about this and talking with Blue would occur to Harlan. I gotta figure out. Gotta check what you think I should make in order to be able to kind of deduce how many people do I think possibly know exactly what Blue is already from how much interaction we've had to have with other people.
Human perception. Yeah. 18.
Myself, Zid, everybody else in the group, Ezek.
Pretty much everyone in the group.
Boss,
you're not sure about Ezek, if he understands what that means. You're pretty sure Boss knows. You think Pinky knows, but you're not sure if she knows or not, because she's kind of waffled on whether she understands what that means or not.
She's tried to remain willfully ignorant, is what I think you mean.
Potentially. You have a feeling that Ponzo is probably smart enough to figure it out. You have a feeling that Brianna and Iggy know, since they're working with her. They're probably less likely to have a problem with her.
Brianna has nukes. At this point, she's already wandering around with enough fucking problems if she got caught anyway that she's never surrendering. We know this.
She's a Militech hit squad all on her own. You really think she gives up? They got her out of Solve Oil is the way they got her contract over there. So you think that she really cares? She's been utilized as a hit squad pretty much her whole life. You think she really is concerned about that at this point?
Not in the slightest. So, else anybody can think that we should absolutely get? How much are EMP grenades?
EMP. I can look that up.
Not that I want to shut off anybody's cyberware within our group, but I mean, if we actually encounter robotic drones, things of that nature, it'd be
EMP
really
grenade,
nice to just be able to
500
shut
a piece.
Oof.
And you're not wrong. EMP is great option, especially if you come across any more of those individuals that I may have or may not have already have planned for you guys to come across that have been kind of nice and not forced you to come across, that I've kept dangling in front of you, that they're around and you just may have to deal with them at some point.
Do you know what I personally think one of the best uses for an EMP grenade is ever? You use it to booby trap an AV. You know,
But AV's
so that
not
when it
going anywhere.
Yeah, I know. But the whole point is that this is great for disabling technology. You know, have Ezek leap onto the flying AV, cut a hole in it, shove the EMP grenade in, jump back. No longer a problem with the chasing AV once that grenade goes off. Gonna shut it off long enough that it's probably gonna fucking crash.
Depending on how quickly they can get it to recover, there's a very, very, very good chance of a crashing AV if you use the EMP on it.
Without operating engines, an AV has a glide coefficient of a brick.
Slightly above a brick.
Oh, okay. A slightly flatter brick. Got it.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. See, you understand.
Well, but I mean, do we want to pick up things? I mean, if we're going to plan ahead for stuff like this.
No, this is why I'm rolling with that this session, is because you're finally actually planning ahead and thinking ahead. That is what you need to do.
Well, I mean, the other thing is that there's been a bunch of different kind of grenades that I've wanted to have made forever. It's just that every time we got to the point where there was time, we either didn't have a tech, or we had a tech that was under threat of death of Ezek. So I never got the chance. What I really want is a variant sleep grenade. But instead of it being a sleep gas, because I think the gas is one, easy enough to avoid with a gas mask, smog filters, any kind of lung replacement, anything like that. I want it to be a flechette round grenade that instead does a burst of needles that are filled with whatever type of fucking neurotoxin that's necessary to put you to fucking sleep right now. Not the kind that you're going to make a shitty little minor save on, the kind that you're going to make a save from injury and are going to be like, oh shit. I want it to be difficult. And I think by adding in the fact that you're requiring injury to do it should be able to make the neurotoxin you're using far worse. I don't know.
I mean, you could talk to a tech.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know any who would like to dabble in that sort of thing.
We don't got any time for that. But by the way, the tech to make the flechette grenade, yes, that's fine. The toxin to fill it with, Grandma, what should I use?
Oh dear, well, do you want to make them completely bonkered out of their gourds while they're under their influence, or do you just want them to be absent, or do you just want them to be present but not able to control their bodies, or do you want them to
off like a switch, asleep, unaware?
Harlan, you probably are feeling a little bit uncomfortable with the number of horrifying options your grandmother starts listing out. You're like, this is not nice.
No. Not really. You know, I'm not going to be horrified.
Grenade disperses a cloud of synth coke.
Listen, the dude found
Street
out
drugs
that he was
for
brought back to
everyone.
life. I think his grandma talking about all the different toxins is the least thing he's worried about.
Well, yes, but it also might have creeped out anybody else who happened to be there enlisting, like maybe Pinky.
Like she literally, unless you interrupt her, it's literally going on for on and on and on about every single potential sort of contaminating, corruptive status.
Three, and I stopped her and said, "Flechette round grenade that's going to explode into a bunch of needles. So, if it could be a crystalline subject that makes up the needle, that would be awesome. For what's going along with that, because then it becomes just part of the substance of the grenade." I needed to shut them off like a switch, putting them to sleep unaware.
So then she'll start listing, well, if you're going to use metal needles, you have this whole list. And then if you want to use a crystalline formula, you have... She starts going into all these options of potential crystalline methods of crazy psychosis and whatnot you can cause. Mm-hmm. Do you want to make them make a, additional roll or lose humanity because of the, crazy turmoil that their mind's having while they're hallucinating unconscious?
No, I just want them to be unconscious.
Do you want them to lose parts of their memory while they're under the effect? Do you want them to be more open to suggestion when they wake up? Do you want them to?
No. But forgetting the previous 20 minutes to a half an hour before they got hit by the grenade sounds fucking amazing. So short-term memory disassociation.
Oh, that's pretty easy. How do you think they worked on getting Ezek to be more trainable?
Yeah, we fixed that. We took that part of the training out. Well, hold on. Let me rephrase that.
No. We actually administered it to him. It was a chemical. It like does what you said. Like you forget the last time period, and so you can use that to when you do things that he gets upset about. You make him forget it, and it works really well.
Grandma. Yeah. We figured that out, and instead of using chemicals to do it, Blue just was using the trigger within his brain to do it for a while.
Oh, that's very creative. Who is this Blue?
Until we figured out how to just shut that off so that he can handle it himself, because he's a person.
Now she's curious in this Blue, because I don't know that did you mention Blue to her before?
We've mentioned Blue as far as that goes. I'll just turn and look back at her. I
wish we had some of that stuff, the forgetting stuff for when, for Levs, so we can have him forget what Lev said.
No, he needs to forget what Levs did. But
he said that she did it on purpose. That's what's caused.
Yeah, you're true. You're right. I'm going to look at Grandma and just go, Blue is, in my opinion, one of the most skilled net runners I've ever encountered. She's also one of the most skilled, I don't know what you would call it, mental technicians I've ever encountered. She has an intimate understanding with the insides of the human mind. And I'm going to do everything in my power not to snicker after saying that.
I think she catches on to what you mean. Would your grandfather have anything to do with her?
Well, in that circumstance, yes, she would be considered one of my uncles or aunts.
Oh, no. How many people know about that, Harlan?
You'd be, I think, like 9.
She has like this look on her face like you just doomed 9 people to death.
I'm going to look right at her and said, and most of them are right here. We're already doomed. The rest still.
How much do you know about your grandfather's project?
Jack and Shite. I know there's 2 of them.
You might want to close the doors.
We've been inside this whole time.
I'm gonna look
Anyone
over
who
at the
doesn't want to
donut.
be associated with more information that is seen as problematic and targeting, they might not want to be here.
Everybody here's already equally screwed by this situation, Grandma. They can remain
This
ignorant of it if they choose, but they're still going to be screwed by it. They're guilty by association. You damn well know it. So, Puppy or Pinky, do you
At
really
this
want to
point-
remain ignorant about what's been going on?
At this point, Pinky, she's playing Elo on her phone. She's like, "Huh? Are you talking to me?"
I'm gonna reach over and I'm gonna close the doors to the room that we're in the container for where everybody's at, which will then engage the privacy setup that's there, which means your phone stops working.
No! What did you do? You monster!
I gave you a creative corpse run for later. Just go.
You don't understand. I just lost a lot of levels because
Anyway.
you ruined my life, Harlan. I found a
I'm gonna blame your sister for that, not me.
So look around, just confused. I could be mad.
No, I wish my sister would kill me right now. This is worse.
I messed up her game think about it as somebody interrupting you in the middle of a dance that you're really enjoying.
Think about someone taking away your grenades. That's how bad it is.
I just got a you monster from Ezek for that. I knew I'd be able to relate that to him.
Right. So Grandma leans in and like quietly talks to you. Okay, so you know how I worked on the Ezek program, as you call him, Ezek. We had a different name for him. That's besides the point. Well, your grandfather was more worked in the artificial realm, not so much the organic, and they were forcing him to work on a baron or overseer or something like that they called it, that they were going to use to be like a exec assistant.
You're talking about the red one. The one that was running the entire compound where Life Tech had
Yeah, that's kind of what they were planning to do with it. They actually did that?
Remember when we talked to you about the place that Zid?
Yeah, but it was never completed.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes.
No, you don't
it
understand.
is.
No, it's not completed. You're using it not completed.
So, you mean Grandpa intentionally hobbled it?
No, like they stopped the program. They had him stop.
But they left it running.
It didn't get finished. Oh no.
Hold on. In that compound, creating these automaton people that they were transferring people's consciousnesses in, using that until the bodies were destroyed.
They were supposed to create some fail-safe measures to make sure that things could go out of whack. They never got those in place.
Well, the fail-safe measures that we put in place in the end of it was Zid gave the coordinates of that place to Ziggurat, who then bombed the miserable fuck out of it after we got out of there. I knew nothing about this. I was not awake in that compound at all. They woke me up out of cryosleep.
Are you sure that was the only node and the only, like, it was actually at that location on the hardware?
I'm pretty sure because it had no exterior connection to anything. I'll dig around in the stash and come out with one of the guns and from that place and hand it to her. Those don't work anywhere but there. Then they fire energy.
That's not good. Not good.
Well, duh. Why do you think it is I'm talking about nukes and going up to the fucking station and taking the whole place out, Grandma? I ain't going back to what I was before.
Yeah. So those only work if you have a local energy network available that's producing energy to allow them to function.
Well, that whole place was
it's-
set up for that.
Yeah, that's the point. But they could never get them working completely. They're extremely dangerous if they get those working.
They worked 100% of the time. Nobody had a problem with one even once the whole time they were using them.
Okay. Did you
Whatever.
did they work? Did they work in your current bodies or in the bodies they made for you?
Pretty sure it was only in the bodies that they made for them. But I don't know. Like I said, that's before I was awake. And the only player that was present for that is not with us right now. Either one of them two
Arlen.
or not.
Do you have the ammo that they come with?
Provided.
Go ahead and load it. She pulls something out, does some stuff. Can you touch this device again? It lights up. The gun activates in your hand.
So you're saying this is made of the same technology shit that you used to wake my ass back up from dead?
Have Pinky use it.
I'll hand it to Pinky. It shuts off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now you have laser guns.
I have a question, and it is very simple.
Time to put some ranks in handguns.
These actual energy weapons, they're not much better than regular guns. The advantage to them is that if you're on the energy network and you have the ammo in them, they don't need reloaded. If you're in that setup, you can just continuously keep firing them without ever having to take time to reload them. So that was one of the advantages. They do pretty good damage for what they are. I'd have to look in the stash as far as that goes with it.
They were very basically modified versions of just the standard. So they're not like double
There's
damage
nothing
or anything.
super spectacular about them, other than they don't really need to be reloaded if you're within the energy field that works for that. Grandma, am I creating the energy field that this would be using then?
No. She goes over to the device she had you touch and turn on and disconnects it and it shuts down. And the gun turns
And
off
everything
even in your
shuts
hand.
Good. I just wanted to make sure.
You still need some minor stimulation to make it work and stuff, but that's not good.
Well, the whole reason I was asking that was that it was even more terrifying to me that if it didn't need a device, because that means the people and the bodies therein are the power source. That would be worse.
You're not fully one of them, and you know that. So that may or may not be the case.
I think that's what's the case, just based on how it feels, or what?
Well, I'm saying you don't know if they would or not, because you know that you're not a full created version of it. You're not in a clone body. So the clone bodies may or may not work completely like yours.
Okay. That makes more sense.
So I'm saying right now you have no details as to if that theory is correct or incorrect. It could be either one.
Okay. So, I honestly think that Grandma and Blue probably really need to sit down and have a conversation, if they're both willing.
Grandma would be willing.
They might figure out a lot of stuff that they can then share back and forth to us that they absolutely know is true, that we may have been sitting on and not even realizing.
Do you want to up your population request for your escapade into the desert?
Blue doesn't require anything other than a seat. So I don't think that's going to be that big of a deal. 7 to 8, including the driver.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should. And we let Blue and Grandma talk as we're making the trip out, and we'll find that information out from that point.
All right.
Malkov, Puppy, either of you think of anything else that we should attempt to try to stock up on to take with for either this next assault we're doing for what we're going to do into the mansion, or along with for the trip beyond what we already have? Because I can't really think of anything else that I would absolutely want to have right now for this purpose. But
shield.
like a riot shield for yourself?
Yeah, something like that.
There's riot shields. In fact, there is ones you can have that pop up as well. So there is foldable bulletproof shield that can be drawn or stowed easily. And you can't hold anything while it's activated. It is a cyber arm implant attachment. And it goes into the cyber arm. And if you have a cyber arm, you can do it. And then you can just pop a bulletproof shield out.
How much is that?
500 eddies.
Got a cyber arm.
The bulletproof shield itself is 100 eddies and is just literally a riot bulletproof shield, right?
I want one pop-up shield in each arm. That way,
You could
when
do
one
that.
gets destroyed, I can use the other. Because they have a limited amount of hit points until they're repaired.
Yeah.
Might as well have one in each arm.
Ezek with a pair of riot shields out like that, we start taking cover behind him.
I was thinking the same thing.
And I can use the other arms to throw grenades.
They also have a reinforced shield, which is basically, you know, in games where they have like the assault gunman who has like the big metal shield that goes stomping down the halls.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually have one of those you can get.
Does that have more
It
SP
does.
or hit points or whatever?
That doesn't work to be a pop-up shield,
No.
but it does have a lot more health than the others, but it does require you to have a body 8 to wield, where the other one doesn't. Which, I mean, that makes sense, right? I mean, you
It's
see
not really a
those...
problem.
No, it's not. I'm just saying, like...
So the point is, though, Ezek, is that
How
if
much
you're
are
doing
those?
running around with it and do the and drop it because you want to start fully fighting, Harlan is strong enough to then pick it up and hide behind it if he needs to, because he's got
Ding,
a
ding,
body
ding,
of
ding,
8.
ding. Yeah, it's middle
Plus
level.
boss, I believe. Have to look, I think. Yeah, boss
so yeah,
is also running a body 8. Either of the two of us could pick up the shield when you don't want, if you drop it for the need purposes of needing it, not needing
there's
it.
also an upgraded riot shield that requires
And
body
I'll be
7.
hiding behind you guys.
Well,
And so the price range goes 100, 200, 300. Or 100, 200, 500.
get 2 of the 500s and then 2 of the pop-ups and all them.
2,000 eddies. You guys want to do
Actually,
that?
Just one pop-up.
Survival.
Just one pop-up is fine. It's going to take humanity.
It is.
Yeah. No.
Is that what you guys want to do? You good
Yep.
with spending another 1,500?
Yeah.
I haggled.
And then put one of the shields in my equipment and the other stash.
we distribute the smoke grenades?
Oh yeah, they're all on me. So how many do you want? Okay,
I'll take 5.
same puppy.
Yeah.
Okay, add them to your
Then we can all like just.
add them to your
Oh.
sheets.
Why will it not let me have access to the stash? Like I click on it to bring it open and it just doesn't open. I've reloaded twice.
It doesn't let me either.
Interesting. It doesn't let you open it at all?
Yeah, like I click on it to open and it's not
I
opening.
can
Like it's
open
not
it,
responding.
but it won't let me drag it over.
And I've reloaded Foundry twice trying at this point to fix that. So I don't know what the hell
Okay.
is going on with that.
Well, just
right
let me know
now.
what you need and I can move them around.
5 smoke grenades is what I need
Yeah,
to add to
same
my
for me.
sheet.
So you're taking... Ezek, did you already mark them off your sheet?
Yes.
Okay.
We're coming right up on our time too.
Yep. And no, you guys actually did delve into some interesting things that you hadn't done before. So
Yeah,
it'll be a fun chat when
Grandma and
Zid
Blue
comes
talk
back.
is- Jesus Christ.
Now, do we want
Yeah.
any like mask or like gas mask or any form of masks?
I already have one of those.
I do too. Built in. I've
I
used
don't
filters
have
and
one.
gills.
You're looking for an anti-smog breathing mask is the name of the item that you're looking for, puppy.
Okay, there's 3 in the stash.
Take one of them.
Okay. Oh. Nice.
Never mind, and don't mind the telltale blood stain, okay?
Okay.
right?
It's weird.
I think she's just got Blackstone's fucking old mask.
I'm gonna pick the one with the least amount of blood.
Interesting.
And you should have it. Yeah, you have it now.
Okay.
Stitcher got shot the least.
Also, can I buy one of those little like fans that you can just hold?
Sure.
She wants,
It's the wasteland. It could be hot out there, you know. I want to have one of those little fans.
well, I mean, depends on the season, but yeah.
I don't know what season we're in.
And by the way, Ezek, I hate you. You with your minimal humanity loss. The last time I had to roll 2d6, I got 11.
Yeah.
So, and we're gonna be resting because Blue's not ready for the next day,
Right.
right?
So I will
Yeah,
go ahead and do
So I
that.
would be able to. Oh, yay!
Did you
Yay.
all decide if you want Blue to go with you or just give you the device?
We want her to go with.
That would be
Okay.
ideal.
Yeah. Oh.
How much? Okay. There you go. Thank you.
You can help us fight the red one when we go.
It'll be interesting. So
Yeah.
I will have to get her spec'd out for next time. I hadn't because I don't take the time to spec someone out if I don't need them.
Yeah. Because otherwise you're spending time on character creation that you could be spending on other things that need to be done within a...
I mean, I'm sure I don't have a shortage of things to do around the house at all either, right?
Wait. Hold on. So remember, all you have to do is continue to get your oldest interested in games and to the point where you are willing to, hey, you know, you really want to learn about this, come help me make this character.
The problem is this setting is not exactly very
I
kid
know,
friendly.
it's not child friendly. Not child friendly.
If we were
at all.
doing the other one, absolutely. In fact, he got upset that I didn't actually start the Adventures in Middle Earth one I was started working on, but timing never worked out with people because he's like, I love how you can make your own dragons and all this stuff. And it's like, yes, I know, son. I know, son. I know, son. Yes, I know, son. Yes, I know, son. And the problem is, I have him sometimes listening into this and shouldn't be. And then he's like, so what's that? I'm like, no.
What does
I told you.
cyberpsychosis mean? You can't listen to this. It means you can't listen to this, and if you keep doing so, you're going to be grounded.
Yeah.
So, well, you do what you got to at that point.
Yep. It's not a child appropriate setting. But
Even the old school one where you got to play this game as teenagers, as your characters, was still not a child appropriate game.
no.
Not at all. That setting was, I still thought that setting was absolutely fun, though, the way that they had set that up for that.
Fun, yes. Messed up. Absolutely.
Anyway.
But any other questions you have for Grandma or preparations or anything you want to do?
Nah, stuff for next week. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Only thing I'll add is that I would have a bandana as well.
A bandana?
I mean, we're going to the wasteland, you know? I feel like it's fitting. Gotta dress
Keep in
for
mind,
the part.
I don't know if Puppy or Pinky's would be thinking that, because Pinky's actually been out there.
I think he knows what out there's like.
Yeah, I don't know that Puppy understands what out there's like. Pinky does.
Yeah.
But I can help you with that if you want, Puppy. But, yeah, think of any other questions you want to talk to Grandma about, or Blue, or any of the characters. Let me know any of the other gear things or preparations you want. Let's get that done so next session we can pick right up at the mansion, ready to go, kick indoors.
Yeah, kick indoors, then do some stuff out. Once we're past that, out into the wasteland, maybe.
Yep. So I want to have that ready. But like this time it wasn't, because I didn't know, other than that you guys wanted to go to the mansion, I didn't have any other clue. So.
Okay.
Feel free to, any details you can provide me with to helps me be able to try to keep us off of the shopping trips.
Needed to happen. It's been too long since we did one.
You're right, and that's why I didn't stop it. And like you said, Azrael had to duck out. There's other stuff we need to do, preparations and considerations, all of that stuff. I didn't know that if we would get there or not, which is why I call the episode Loose Ends, not, back to the mansion. Because I didn't know if we'd make it that far or not, because of all the loose ends going on.
Yeah.
Right? You have all these characters that have interactions with others that are still floating about. And then you also have preparations that hadn't been done for the assault on the mansion. So,
We still
next
have
week
assault petting yet.
You what?
Assault petting of a cat.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not that you know of.
I think we're going to do the assault petting.
Probably.
I wonder if we can replace the blades on your Wolvers with man catchers.
I already have many pictures.
I know. Anyway.
Call them fingers. They grab things.
What works as a cat trap?
4 hands? Yeah.
Yeah.
3 hands for holding it and 1 hand for patting.
Do you know what works as an Ezek trap?
Cat.
Food.
Bowl of noodles. That was a great line. Harlan, I got the noodles.
I got
trying to hide. I'm trying to hide. Oh man.
All right.
But thank you guys for being here.
That'll be over.
Yeah. Thank you all for being here. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Viewers, thank you all for being here. This session was a little bit slower than a lot of the ones we have because we had to get all this paperwork and stuff done. Next session is going to be at the manor and then into the wastes, and then hopefully they can figure out where they're going to go from there and see what kind of fun they're going to have with Life Tech.
Nuclear.
Catch you all next time. Till then, enjoy the story. Check these fine
Bye.
folks out. Bye.